My name's Kelly. I am a CBT therapist and forensic psychologist. And today we're going to be looking at the different states of mind. So this idea comes from dialectical behavioural therapy, but also within mindfulness. So the idea is that we have three different states of mind. We have a reasonable or rational mind, we have a wise mind, and we have an emotional mind. And we all have these different types of minds, but it's about practicing to get us into that middle state, which is a wise mind, which is what we do through dialectical behavioural therapy or just practicing mindfulness. So let me explain the differences between the three. So you have the rational or the reasonable mind, and this is a frame of mind which is rational, logical, and quite analytical. When we're in this state of mind, we are planning things, we're able to focus our attention on a task at hand, and we have quite a cool, calm and collected approach to problems. So we may be in this type of mind when we're working out a problem without getting anxious or angry or being distracted by other thoughts, which, although it can be quite helpful, that when we are in this rational side of our mind, that we don't often consider the emotions. So if we flip over to the emotional mind, so this is a state of mind whereby our thinking and our behaviour are being controlled by the current emotions that we're feeling. And when we are in this type of mind, our thinking is quite hot and it's quite difficult to think in a reasonable way. So unlike the reasonable and rational mind where you're quite cool, calm and collected, the emotional mind is quite hot and quite focused, as I said, driven by our feelings. And when our emotional mind, when that's activated or we're in that state, our exaggerated emotions can make things really quite unbearable at times. And we can find things maybe feeling quite annoying, and that can make us feel really strong emotions. And maybe that we wouldn't be triggered by much by those emotions when we are in the reasonable mind. So again, although the emotional mind is like, it's quite dynamic, it's quite, I suppose it's a way that we can think about that we're controlled by our emotions, and because of that it can make it really difficult for us to think rationally. So you've got those two on either edge, but how about the wise mind? So the wise mind is the bit in the middle, and this is the integration from the emotional mind and from the rational mind. So in a wise mind, we're able to be quite in tune with our intuition, and we know what to be, how to act and how to react. And you can't create emotions with the rational mind, and you can't overcome the emotions with the reasonable side in the emotional mind. But in the wise mind, you can bring those two together. You're able to understand your emotions, you're able to rationalise your emotions instead of being driven by them. But you're able to recognise that your emotions are there. And in the wise mind, that enables us to be more in control of our mind. We're able to look within ourselves and we're able to integrate the logical, rational side with the emotional aspect. And through that, we are more able to solve problems, think things through clearly whilst understanding the emotional impact. And you can get to the wise mind by many different practices through mindfulness or through dialectical behavioural therapy. But it's just important to know that we all have these three minds within us. Sometimes in some situations that we may veer off to one or the other, but we can, through practicing, we can bring it back to just that wise mind. I hope that is helpful and gives a little bit of an insight into the wise mind. Please let me know if there's any questions or any other videos that you'd like to see me do. Thank you very much. Take care.